And lastly, we have an award ceremony on its way to us. We just can't avoid it. It happens every year. The Brit Awards is happening. It always happens in February. And I remember that because my birthday is in February. And I always notice it. I haven't watched the full Brit Awards for a very long time. I think the last time I watched it in full must have been 20 years ago. And it was
when
live.
ABBA were featured.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
And well, I remember the Brit Awards. It used to be live. There used to be people showing their arses. There used to be people coming up and swearing before the watershed. It used to be fun. It used to be exciting. And I don't know exactly what happened, but I don't know if I don't think it's live or it's live with a delay. And it's not quite, maybe they stopped serving alcohol at the tables. Something like that. But it's not an exciting one. Or at least the last time I watched it, or a bit of it, it wasn't an exciting watch. And so I think I've abandoned it because I just thought, why am I spending 2 hours of my life watching boring shit? So let's go to the nominees.
The nominees are...
That said, the nominees. So they... slagging it off for 10 minutes and then talking about it like it's okay. See, we're only really mentioning it because they have a category which is of interest to us, the Best Rock Alternative Act. And the nominees are... I like this. It's like I'm on stage doing it.
Oh.
The 1975, Arctic Monkeys, Nova Twins...
Yes.
Tom Grennan. I have to pause after each one for an applause like that. Oh, do you know what? I could even do it. What am I doing? They've still got an applause
You've got the
button.
Soundboard.
Oh my god. Oh
Yes,
my god.
we're
There we
gonna
go.
do it.
It's like we're actually there.
Yes! Right.
Oh my god.
Are you ready? Now, do you know we need to... there's some music underneath it, maybe? Should we have music underneath it as well? See, we're going to have to go the whole way. We can't just do it... We can't do a half job. We have to do... See, I don't know whether this would be appropriate or not. And the nominees are, for Best Rock and Alternative Act, the 1975... Arctic Monkeys. Nova Twins. Is it working, this? You feel like you're there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Grennan. And Wet Leg. Yeah, well, there you go. So, anticlimax. Can't give you the winner because we're not there. What do you reckon then? I mean, I don't consider them as being, I mean, I can see that they're alternative. But I just want really heavy stuff. I want really heavy rock that's in there. I don't think that really satisfies me, to be honest.
I've seen Nova Twins. Saw them download a few years ago, and I thought they were fantastic. There's so much energy and life in their performance. If I was going to vote, I'd have said Nova Twins 100% to win that. I mean, the Arctic Monkeys and 1975 are going to be the popular votes in that. But I think truly the only alternate act within that. I mean, I don't know Wet Leg, I don't know Tom Grennan, but the only alternate act that I can really see in that group of people is Nova Twins. So, I mean, yeah, they'd get my vote.
Yeah. I mean, they're all rock, I guess, but
yeah,
it's that I suppose it's been really, when you look at some of the previous winners of this, you've had like The Darkness win it, but also
have you?
Also a very quick Google, I found 4 people that have won it, but also like Franz Ferdinand. I would assume Muse probably won it at some point, and maybe, I don't know, Coldplay or something at some point.
No,
maybe,
I think because you say this, I think this is the popular end. You know, the sort of more of commercial. That's probably a better way of putting it. More commercial aspect.
Personally, I wouldn't put the 1975 in there. mainly because I fucking hate them.
Fair point.
No other reason. But
Fair enough.
no, Tom Grennan's pretty rocky. But like, I think Sam Fender won it last year. Looking at the thing I've got up here, it
Did
might not
he?
have done, but yeah.
What, best rock alternative act?
According to the know-it-all source Wikipedia.org, give them some credit where it's due. Sam Fender won it last year, with the nominations being Coldplay, Glass Animals, Tom Grennan and Wolf Alice. But I don't know. I think even 1975 are probably going to take it because they seem to be huge this year. But yeah, it's
who actually vote? This isn't voted for by normal people, is it? This is an industry thing, isn't it? Brits.
Yeah, it's industry at this point, I believe. I don't know if there's a fan thing beforehand, but yeah, it's industry for the actual winners.
And how do we get? I guess the industry picks the nominees as well. Then,
presumably, I don't fully know.
I don't. I mean, it's years since I've even had a vague interest in the Brits, but that's the last I knew. As far as I know, it was the industry that picked the nominees and decided the winner. I just think I don't think it's a very adventurous group of nominees. I think that there are some people in the rock alternative category that are doing more interesting work than what we've got as a whole.
I mean, a band I'd have in there, for instance, if we're going down a popular end, even just for a nomination, would be a band called Seagulls. They've had a fucking phenomenal year. And if you don't know Seagulls, they're fucking fantastic. But they've had a phenomenal year, but they're kind of, they're that indie rock, that popular side of rock. And they're just getting bigger by the second, but they've not got a single nomination throughout the entire thing. And, I think they're going to be one of the biggest British bands in a few years.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I guess the awards are the type of thing just to get everybody talking because nobody's going to agree necessarily with nominees or winners. Which, I guess it's all about exposure for the acts, I suppose. I just think, but it's the Brits, isn't it? It's on ITV. It's not the kind of thing that people who necessarily like Metallica will be looking at for any kind of. And it's not, I'm very nearly 40 years old, so it's not particularly. I wouldn't say it was aimed at me either.
Yeah. I'd say it's probably named at your grandkids.
Fuck off. And I mean, let's be honest. There's no grandkids coming my way. Might be a pet dog. So I mean, you've got. Let's have a look at Artist of the Year. Who do we reckon out of? Oh Christ! I mean, forgive me if I'm saying your names wrong, but I've never heard of half of these. Central C, Fred again, and again.
Oh my God.
George Ezra, have heard of that. Harry Styles, heard of that. Stormzy, I've heard of that because he was on Radio 2 the other day, and I do listen to Radio 2 now and again.
Oh.
Yes.
I think out of that, it's got to be Harry Styles.
I think it has, and I know fuck all about pop music anymore.
I think I have to agree with you, Harry Styles.
George Ezra's had a new album. I don't know about Stormzy, but Harry Styles had a fucking belter of a year.
Yeah.
He has. Even I've noticed. Yeah, I mean, he's done some tunes and particularly some music videos that I have seen that I'm thinking, God, I would not have expected Harry Styles to have done that kind of thing. And he's like, he can actually sing.
Yeah.
Which is, he's come from a boy band, and that, it's debatable as to whether a lot of them can sing, to be honest, because that's the reason why they're in a boy band. I was very impressed. You can't know everybody though, can you? Album of the Year, what do we think? Nominated, you've got the 1975 Being Funny in a Foreign Language, Wet Leg, with Wet Leg, Harry Styles with Harry's House, Stormzy with This Is What I Mean, and Fred again with Actual Life 3.
January 1st to September 9th, 2022.
Yeah, I didn't read that bit out, because there's no way that's the fucking title. What a stupid
That's got to be the title. That's got to be the title.
For MasterCard Album of the Year.
Is he some kind of prog rapper?
Do you know what? I mean, I've listened to a lot of music over the past year, and I could name some albums that I reckon would shit all over these, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's going to be Harry Styles, or maybe the 1975, but I think Harry's House was a huge album. Huge album.
Did Invisions have an album out this year?
Damn right they did. That one. Deadlock.
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing. I don't know why they're not part of the Brits. Do you know, it's silly. I don't understand why.
Do you really think do you get confused about that? Not sure why they're not there.
You know, underrated, man. That's what I'm saying.
I know, with all the mentions they get on Festpod as well, you'd think they'd be number one.
I know exactly.
Do
you know what? Actually, tonight I actually tried my best not to mention them as much. I have failed, big time.
Yeah, miserably.
I think. It's not going to happen, is it?
I'm gonna. Thing is, for the next couple of podcasts,
you even spunked on their flag tonight.
Just there.
That sounds like a song title. That spunk on their flag.
Spunked on their flag. It sounds like a political song, doesn't it? I'm going to spunk on the flag or something stupid.
Yeah, that's got cunt in the gag written all over it.
Oh yes, exactly. So I mean, do you know what? I might watch, depending on whether I'm in or not, because they put it on an evening. I'm usually out, but I might have a look at just to find out who's in the pop parade and what's popular, because I don't listen to any of this. I mean just
probably Fred again.
Again, as I drive around in my job. Well, I've always got the radio on, and I couldn't tell you half of what I'm listening to, but you'd think I'd notice stuff that I liked that was on from the Brits. Ed Sheeran's there again, Song of the Year. Let's have a look at the Song of the Year. H and Asante, Cat Burns, Cat Burns,
Cat Burns, go. It's like a Street Fighter move or a Pokemon.
Yeah, I know. Dave, Ed Sheeran and Elton John with Merry Christmas. Song of the Year.
No, I can't. I mean, I love Christmas songs. I really do. But I have to agree with a friend of mine at work. He says Christmas songs are shit because they're only popular one time a year. I agree with that to an extent. It shouldn't be Song of the Year, especially if it's for it's about a particular time of the year.
Eliza Rose and Interplanetary Criminal, BOTA, baddest of them all. Oh, that rings a bell. I might have heard that one. George Ezra, Green Green Grass, Harry Styles, As It Was, Lewis Capaldi, Forget Me, LF System, Afraid to Feel, Sam Smith and Kim Petras, Unholy. Some of these names are familiar, but I couldn't tell you what they sound like.
The only song I recognise out of that list is Sam Smith, Kim Petras, Unholy, but that's because that's fucking massive on TikTok, didn't it?
Oh, is it? Right, yes.
Only song on that list.
Everyone loves that at the minute, don't they? I bet that wins. I bet you anything.
I don't know.
Anything?
Without knowing what the rest of them sound like. Yeah.
Yeah. Open door.
Hey, so anyway, I mean, who knows? We're going to cover. I mean, to be honest, that's the Brit Awards. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover the Heavy Music Awards in considerably more detail than that, because it's within our sort of it's our sort of thing.
As long as the 1975 aren't involved, I'm all good.
Yes.
Harry Styles is welcome, but 1975, however.
Yeah, no, exactly. They can get fucked.
Bin.